Live from Camp Brightside in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. Camp Brightside, located at 8701 Rural Route 2338 or Williams Drive in Georgetown, Texas, is the host of this year's show. And now, here's the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon. I am not Wally Harmon, and this is not Camp Brightside, but this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Here every Wednesday, well, you're not here every Wednesday, but at Camp Brightside every Wednesday, but we appreciate you joining us. To my side tonight, we got Jory Erickson. Jory, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And the Coaches Show is always significantly more fun after a win, and that's exactly what your Georgetown Eagles got on Friday night against the Killeen Chaparral Bobcats. Big whipping taking place. You can see in the background we are at the track stadium practice field at Georgetown High School tonight. Since they have a sub-varsity game tonight, Coach likes to be out here for those games, so we're doing the Coaches Show out here tonight, and we appreciate everybody joining us for the Coaches Show. Jory, Friday night was one of the most complete games I have seen a Georgetown team play. Big victory, 65 to 7 over the Bobcats from Chaparral, and it was incredible. The offense was just clicking, the defense was just attacking the football. What were your impressions of the game?
Well, I was down on the field and I saw energy from the get-go, from the warm-up all the way to the finish of the game. The stands were full all the way to the finish of the game. There wasn't anybody leaving. They didn't want to miss that game, and I think special teams had some really big plays, some big hits, and a recovered fumble, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There was one that bounced off the windshield
on the kickoff,
and defense held them to 7 points, and I think, was it 3 or 4 first downs maybe?
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot.
It was not much, and
yeah, so
as always, there's
a lot.
Yeah, and we'll have a conversation with Coach here in just a couple of minutes. There's always some things to work on, but the offense was clicking, the defense was clicking, and you can't talk about the offense and the performance of the offense last Friday night without talking about Jet Walker, number 28. Yeah. Jet just had a tremendous game, almost 300 total yards, I think, with on the ground and receiving. 3 total touchdowns. Four touchdowns for Jet Walker.
Three rushing, one.
Yeah, that's right. 3 rushing, one catch, and a jump pass a la what's his name?
Tebow.
The Tebow jump pass that we saw there, and that was pretty incredible to see. But Jet had a tremendous game on the edges, the receivers out there just doing a tremendous job. And it's fun watching so many different people touch the football for this offense. Yeah. And all of it starts with that big offensive line up there doing just a tremendous job and opening gaps for Jet, keeping McDougal safe in the pocket and giving time to throw. On the defensive side of the ball, just a lot of Georgetown helmets to that football, just attacking the football, staying with their receivers, taking care of their assignments, and it was just an overall really, really exciting game to watch if you're a Georgetown fan, not so much with the Bobcat fans.
That poor quarterback, I don't know how many times he was thrown down in the back and sacked and didn't have any time. So, the receiving core that they brought to the table didn't have many options.
Yep.
And our line just kept them pressured the whole time.
Well, folks may be asking the question, where's Wally? Wally is actually in Las Vegas playing in a law enforcement softball tournament that he plays in every year. So 1 week out of the season, we get to do the Coaches Show, and I'll be on play-by-play. Don't forget, Friday night at Gupton Stadium.
Thursday
night. Tomorrow night at Gupton Stadium. Georgetown takes on the Rouse Raiders, and we're looking forward to that ball game. That if you can't make it out to Gupton Stadium, then you can tune in on YouTube. Pre-game will start around 6:15, and then kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. And in that game, this is going to be a pretty good test for this team. I know that The Raiders have a quarterback. London is his first name. London's a pretty good athlete back there.
Yep.
Doesn't run the football a whole lot, but he does a good job of using his feet to buy time. So it's going to be imperative that this defense gets some pressure on him, not let him get out of the pocket, not let him get comfortable back there. So it should be a good ball game Friday night or Thursday night. I keep saying Friday.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's Thursday.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's a habit we've gotten into. Friday Night Lights. Thursday Night Lights just doesn't sound right.
But it works.
It works.
It's
I know these guys here are going to be ready for it.
Yeah, it's still Texas high school football, and love some Texas high school football. Well, folks, we are going to bring Coach Griffin in here in just a couple of minutes, so stick with us, and we'll be right back after this word from our sponsor of the Coaches Show, Camp Brightside. Stay with us. Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Brightside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Brightside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Brightside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Brightside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Brightside and stay a while. And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, brought to you by Camp Brightside. Not at Camp Brightside tonight, out here enjoying sub-varsity game. And the JV Blue playing right now against Cedar Park. JV Silver will be kicking off right after this game against Rouse.
Correct.
But JV Blue playing Cedar Park tonight, and
35.
so far 35-0 for your Eagles with 6:44 left in the half. Coach, congratulations! Great win Friday night against the Chaparral Bobcats. Your impressions of the ball game?
Man, I'm just really excited about our kids and proud of our kids. They responded really well, after a tough week at Lander and getting a little shocked. We challenged them the next week to prepare harder, to prepare better, to be more prepared when you go into the game, and those guys responded lights out. We had a great week of practice. They did a great job of film study throughout the week, and we were ready to go on Friday night, and it showed.
In the first games of the season, first 3 games of the season, the team was rolling along, not really tested, and then they get the test against Leander. Didn't turn out like we wanted it. How do the leaders on your football team help get this team back focused for the next game?
Well, I think they realize, we kind of got a little comfortable, kind of resting on our laurels a little bit, and I think they realized that, and so they took it as a challenge, like we're not going to let that happen again.
We'll start with the offensive side of the football. So many yards put up by this team. We talked a little bit earlier about Jet Walker. Let's start there with Jet and his performance. New to Georgetown this year, junior running back. Talk about what Jet has done for this team this year.
Man, he's just been he's melded right into what we do and who we are. And Jet grew up here, went to middle school over at Benold, and we hated to see him go when he left because we knew he was good. But family was able to move back, and man, he's been a great addition to our offense and what we're doing. And he came to play the other night. I mean, he looked really good running the football. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. Had a receiving touchdown. Then he threw a little 2-point conversion too. So, he had a big night, and he was ready to go.
And it all starts like we talked about just a little bit earlier. It all starts up front with that big offensive line. We're going to be talking to Caden Shearer here in just a little while. Talk about how well this offensive line has done in helping your offense run this season.
That's the key. I mean, it doesn't matter offense or defense. The key is can you play up front? Can you run the ball and can you stop the run? And, man, they've done a great job opening up lanes for our running backs and for all our guys to run and go score and protect Caleb and let him throw the ball around. So that's been great to see.
There's been a couple of teams that we played this year, and Copper's Cove was one of them. Really, really big on both sides of the football on the line. But this line's big and athletic, and that makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some key players that are really athletic, and they're just good offensive linemen. They're coached well. They know where to go. They know what to do. They don't get too surprised, and man, they're just doing a great job fitting up and being where they're supposed to be.
They rarely get much of the credit for the things that are going on. Everybody's talking about McDougal and Warren and Jet and all the skill positions, but it not only takes the size and athleticism, but it takes the intelligence to know what you've got to do on the block. And with as complex as offenses are now, how has that progressed with these players this season?
I think it's been unique because Coach Flores is taking over as the offensive coordinator, has an offensive line background, and came here as a running back coach. Came here as a freshman coach, moved to a running back coach, moved to tight end coach. Has always had a hand as offensive line. So, man, he puts a lot on them. They've got to ask a lot of questions. They got to know what to do and where to go because he requires a lot of them. So it's great to see. It's great to see him get out there and him coach our kids up and get them ready and play well. With
the new offensive coordinator, the system is still pretty much the same.
It's the same. Yep.
But I noticed a little bit of change in the play calling.
I mean, to some extent, not a huge. I mean, there's not a big difference. Everybody's going to have their little stick on it. I always say, Coach Beatty, the years I was gone, those 2 years, like he was 1 degree of separation from where I was, and then he continued that when he was calling plays here. Now he's 1 degree separation from that. So that always happens. That's always a part of it.
Oh, we're here.
I don't know. I can hear myself.
It's coming over here, so maybe we turn you up just a little bit. I think it's all right.
Yeah.
At least I think it's going out over that. With the.
Oh, come on, get in there.
Sorry, we got a football game going on behind us. Get a little distracted.
I like it.
Trying to punch it in there. We'll get to the sub-varsity teams here in just a little bit. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball. Hats, Georgetown hats. Everywhere, all over that football. Yeah. Overall, defense.
They did a great job up front. Our front 7 guys did a tremendous job the other night of just hitting the quarterback. They played both of them, and we made both of them uncomfortable. They really could never get their running game going, depending on throwing the ball, and they weren't able to do that because we were good on the back end. So our guys just did it was a complete dominating performance from our defense last week.
You had to assign a team of the week on the defensive side. How did you make that decision?
We went with our linebackers just because we had 3 that all. The 3 of them together accounted for, I think, 34, 35 tackles, the 3 linebackers. So, that's why we win. And there was also, between the 3 of those guys, I think there was 2 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery out of those 3 linebacker guys. So, they did a tremendous job.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I just got this is off topic, but, Coach, somebody asked me to ask you, who does your hair?
Great clips.
Great clips?
Yep.
Like weekly?
Every other week. I'm every 2 weeks kind of guy.
Wow, because it always looks fresh.
It wasn't me that asked him to.
We thought your wife did it because it looks so good all the time.
Nope.
Is it?
Nope.
While he's gone,
she did. She cut my hair when we first got married when it was straight buzz cut, and I got one of those. Oops. So she didn't cut my hair anymore. So.
Coach, talk about the linebackers. Those guys just seem to be sideline to sideline. They're always around the football. Talk about those guys on the defense.
Seth Warren and Chance Kelly are doing a great job of leading as seniors and both playing multiple years on varsity. And then Cole Mitchell is a second year varsity guy too, as a junior. And those 3 guys they're just dominating. They're physical. They play hard. They line us up right. They get us in the right calls. We have Teal comes in there as well as Hogue. Both those guys come in as well at linebacker and play a little bit of relief. And man, all of those guys, it's a really good unit for sure.
That was one thing I noticed last week, Coach, is your linebackers are always putting people in the right spots constantly. And it's amazing that they're so
it's a thinking man's game. Yeah. Like we got to line up right. That's a big key to our defense. It's all defense, but especially what we're doing and how we react to things, we have to be lined up correctly. And so for our guys to see that, recognize that, and get everybody lined up is really big.
Now with the defensive scheme change, does that go all the way down to the middle schools?
Yeah, okay. It's a scheme change all the way down. It's a little bit what we're doing. It's a little bit slower at the middle school because we ask our guys to do so much. It's hard for a 7th grader to figure out how to do that, For sure. It's more just line up and go play a little bit. But, especially in the coverage and that part of it, we want to be the same all the way down.
So in the middle schools, it's basically the coloring books and crayons version of what you guys run.
It is. And offensively too. But you'd be surprised. You go to middle school games and you're surprised. we have a couple of our new coaches there at a middle school game, and they watched our 7th grade B team, pull the zone read and throw the bubble screen in their first, to score a touchdown. They're like, how does that happen in the 7th grade B team? And, man, Coach Hammond, Coach Gamage, and all the other coaches down there do a tremendous job coaching those guys down there.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Coach, I've been watching Georgetown football a long time, and every year there's 2, 3, 4 guys that are really, really athletic. But to the naked eye and the fan, this looks like one of the most athletic Georgetown Eagle teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. We're pretty athletic all the way around, and in really every spot. And man, that's why we're playing pretty good. And we still got to. That doesn't mean anything. We beat athletic teams all the time. So
right.
You still got to go out and perform. You got to execute. You got to prepare. You got to be ready. And you got to. If you'll prepare really well, you'll practice really hard, then you're going to go out and play hard. So.
With the change this year, we're to the new district realignment there. Got rid of College Station, got rid of A&M Consolidated, but brought in Lake Belton and a couple other teams. Still a very competitive district.
Yeah.
And now the Eagles stand 1-1 in district play. This coming tomorrow night, we're facing a Rouse Raider team that's got some athleticism, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah,
what are you looking for out of Rouse?
I mean, they're a good football team. Coach Mann does a tremendous job. Been there a long time. I guess been there. He's either the first coach or maybe the second. Came in there just a year or two after they opened. He's been there a long time, and I know he's been there since 13. Since I can remember, he's been there. And he does a tremendous job, and he coaches them well. And those guys are going to be very sound in what they do. Their quarterback, London, he's a good player, and he's scary good because he runs around and makes plays. He wants to extend them, and that's hard when you're asked to cover somebody 7 or 8 seconds versus 3 or 4 seconds, and that's what he brings to the table is he's able to move around and run around and go make plays, and so that's the danger for us.
Their fans are probably not going to see him tuck the ball and run a lot, but when you're talking about using his feet, he uses his feet in the pocket
just
to
escape
extend
pressure.
the play.
He uses his feet in the pocket and behind the line of scrimmage to run around and extend the play, and then find somebody open down the field. And he's got a cannon, so he'll throw the ball wherever he wants to. So.
On the defensive side for the Raiders, again, some athleticism there. What's going to be the challenge with their defense?
They do a lot of movement and move around, so they're going to try to run some tricky stuff and try to get our offensive line off kilter. And they like to bring some different stunt packages. They're not a huge pressure team. They just like to move guys around and make it a little difficult. And they get one guy in particular, when he's in the game, he moves all over. And it's kind of one of those players, they just kind of let him line up wherever he wants to as long as he gets to where he's supposed to be when the ball snaps. So it presents a little challenge because what we do offensively, like we got to make a call, get the right front called, and so we block it up correctly. And so that'll be a big challenge for us,
In disguising their looks, and especially with that one player, that's what you were speaking of earlier. It's a thinking man's game.
Yeah, for sure.
To contain somebody like that.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was going to just say, so with the scout team this week, were you able to find somebody that can run like London?
Yeah, Maddox Borden did a great job for us out there, just running around, and he's doing a great job for us. He contacts us on Sunday nights, like, all right, Coach, what I need to see out of the quarterback? What do you need this week? What do you need me to do? And man, he did a great job for us, running around and slinging it and not going down. So he did well.
How valuable is that scout team for you guys?
It's huge. It's I talk to our guys every year. 2 years ago when Georgia won the national championship, the first thing Coach Smart did was thank the scout team. He's like, they got us ready. They decided they on a scout team, they were going to be better than the opponent they were playing, so they prepped us leading up to the national championship game. And I think that's the key, man. Our scout team, it's hard. It's hard being a sophomore going against a senior guy, and day in and day out. These guys came out and scouted this morning. It did them good. They're winning 42-0, but they ran scout team this morning for us. But the thing that I tell them is, man, you have an opportunity to use this. Yes, you're not always playing our offense or our defense, but you're doing football skills. You're running, you're blocking, you're tackling, you're throwing, you're catching. You're doing those kind of things against the very best players we have, and competition makes you better. Yeah. So go attack that every day and work to get better and be a better player. So when it's your turn to play on the varsity, you know how to do it, and you're a better player.
And are there some misunderstandings about the scout team? Because it's not a bunch of kids that are never going to see the field.
That's why we run 5 football teams. Right. Every year we have guys that play for us on the varsity that were, freshman white team, JV blue team, JV silver team, and then they end up being a starter by the time they're senior because they played 30 football games. and they've had that experience in competition. They've lined up against our best players every day, and they get better and they develop as they go through high school. And every year we have players that do that for us.
Well, and that was one of the things that I was going to ask you. You see them as individual players getting better.
Yeah, for sure.
As scout team,
because
they're going up against a pretty good football team.
Yeah, and we try to recognize those guys. We nominate 2 scout team players of the week, offensively and defensively, every week, and they get to go eat breakfast with the varsity on Friday mornings, and miss a little bit of the weight room, so they get a little bit of honor, and they get some stickers for their helmet and those kind of things. So we try to honor them a little bit because it's a tough task, it's a tall task, A
little bit of a tackling dummy at times.
Yeah.
And to that, what you were talking about with the recognition, every Monday is the Booster Club meeting at the field house up here behind the high school, and y'all recognize those kids there.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we recognize them on social media and at the Booster Club meeting as well.
And in the hallway, if I'm not mistaken.
Right? They get their name in the hallway too for the week as well.
Yeah. Picture and on the placard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the sub-varsity. A lot of success with both the freshman teams, both the JV teams this year. Talk about how well they're doing.
Man, I'm really excited. All 4 teams are undefeated on the year. We have 1 tie, so I think that makes us 19-0-1 going into tonight. So man, our coaches they take pride in that. They do a great job coaching. We're prepared when we go out there. Our kids are prepared. And here's the deal: winning breeds winning. So they go out there and then win games, and they learn how to win, and they expect to win, and that makes them that much better when they're on the varsity team.
Is it ever a challenge with the success that you've had? I mean, you've got undefeated sub-varsity teams, only 1 loss on the varsity team. Is it ever a challenge to keep them focused and not just assume you're going to walk on the football field and win?
Yeah, I mean, that's always a challenge with any kid. Right now, that's the biggest challenge thing I've seen is just keeping them focused on anything is hard for about more than 30 seconds, So, it is a challenge always. But, man, our kids, we talk a lot about, when you're here, you're in a special place. And we got a lot of things that other programs don't have. I mean, like this radio show out on the track during a game on a Wednesday night. Not everybody has that. Not everybody gets to do that. So you're in a special place that loves you, that cares for you, that gives you everything they can get you. So when you go out and play, man, you have something to honor and you have something to defend. You have something, your community is behind you, and you need to go out and play like they're behind you. And so we talk about that all the way through our program and just part of our character development, So we want our kids to just continue to get better and grow as they go through high school.
Yeah. Can you mention a couple of guys maybe on blue and silver that have stood out this season?
Yeah, I mean, all our guys are doing a good job. On our blue team, our running backs, Nelson, he's doing a tremendous job. We got a couple linebackers doing a great job out there too. Our silver team, is doing a great job. We have a couple of those players up playing with us this week on the varsity just because of some mid-season bumps and bruises. We have a couple of those guys that are up playing for us.
Like Cade Erickson.
Like Cade Erickson did a great job.
That kid?
Yeah, he did a great job for us last week, and he's going to be up again this week. And Corbin Carroll's going to come up and play with us this week. He's had a really good year. Some of our quarterbacks have rotated down there. They've been on the varsity as well as on the JV this year, and Tyler and Maddox and Jaden and JD, all those guys have been down there. But the biggest deal is we've got some guys that dress out. Caleb Hennessy and AJ Gonzalez are down there, and they dress out with the varsity because they're kind of a tweener, but they play on Thursday night so that they're getting reps. So when we need them to come up during the season, they're going to be ready because they're playing. So I'm just proud of all those guys. Like I said, our coaches do a tremendous job coaching those guys and getting them ready.
Can it be a difficult choice sometimes in whether or not you keep them up on varsity or move them to JV silver so they get some snaps?
I mean, you want selfishly, you look at the varsity and you're like, well, we got to have backups and we got to have twos and we got to practice with twos and we got to have guys ready in the game. But at the same time, you don't want a guy stand on the sideline. So they need to go down and play on a Thursday night. And so we have a lot of guys that are in the varsity locker room, but they play on Thursday night until they're ready. And at some point during the season, they're going to come up. It might be a week. It might be the whole season, when they get a chance to come up. It just kind of depends on the way the season develops. But there's always some of those guys that are up and down. So that's something we've done around here for a long time is have kids do that and go play. And all those kids will dress out on the varsity. They can't play on the varsity game, but they all dress out. They warm up with us. They go out there, and they get to be a part of the varsity football team too.
How much different is the week with a Thursday game versus a Friday game? What are the challenges?
I mean, it's a challenge. It's not terrible. We practiced this morning, then we did our Thursday morning this afternoon. So we kind of double up on a Wednesday. The biggest challenge this week is grades are due this week in a short week. We're playing in a short week, and we had drug tests in a short week. Like, there's a lot of things happening this week in a short week.
Wow.
You're coming off homecoming, so I mean it's really tight and compressed. So we've had a little bit of work keeping those guys focused, but they've done a tremendous job. I think Monday and Tuesday were probably our best 2 back-to-back practices we've had all year. So they're locked in and ready to go. That's
good news coming
Coach,
up against a Rouse team.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more question.
Yeah.
Where did Wallen Wednesday come from?
So we're our days have always been. I mean, Monday has been Metallica Monday and Metal Monday, and
I'd like that day.
That sounds like
at one point. Now it's kind of changed. There's more rap music. I think Tuesday at one time was 2 for Tuesday. Like we can appreciate at our age. That was every radio station did. Rock station did 2 for Tuesday.
Sure.
And then Wednesday was always Country Music Day, and so just a couple years ago, we always start off the Morgan Wallen song, and so that's Wallen Wednesday.
Nice.
It's kind of just morphed into that. So
I guess that's the only one we see on social media. Not
yeah,
Metallica Monday.
Yeah, and it hadn't been Metallica Monday in a while. They like a mix on Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday is straict country music. So
mix it up Monday.
Yeah.
I would like Metal Monday.
Yeah.
I'm an old metal head way back. Well, folks, Coach, again, congratulations on last Friday. We're looking to a great ball game tomorrow night.
Thank you, man. We are too.
Folks, that is head coach Chuck Griffin, head coach of your Georgetown Eagles. Eagle Nation Coaches Show will continue right after this.
Hey, Georgetown, there's a new place to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and it's on the beautiful square in downtown. It's Goldberger Diner. When you walk into this 50s-style diner, you're greeted with a smile, greeted like your family. Sit at the counter, a table, or a booth and get ready for an old-fashioned dining experience like no other in Georgetown. Enjoy tasty breakfast or come later for a burger, chicken fried steak, or even the Southern classic liver and onions. There's so much to choose from. Goldberger Diner is located at 109 West 7th Street in downtown.
And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, brought to you by Camp Brightside. Obviously, in the background, you see we are not at Camp Brightside. We're at the JV Blue game right now. JV Silver kickoff right now. JV Blue currently leading 42-6 over the Cedar Park Timberwolves. And JV Silver will be playing Rouse
They're
here in just a little bit.
Walking on the field now.
Getting ready to walk out on the field right now. So you may see them back. They may walk around us. We have with us tonight number 71 on the offensive line, Caden Scherer. Caden, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Caden, it's been a heck of a season, man. Y'all came off a difficult loss to Leander and really put a whipping on the Chaparral Bobcats last Friday. Talk about that ball game.
Yes, sir. It was a good win. Came off of that tough loss, obviously, and just the energy in the locker room was different. We all got locked in, focused, and came out and played very well, and just we played Eagle football.
On Monday after that loss to Leander, what was it like in that locker room? What was the message that was being passed around in that locker room?
The message is it's Texas football. You know, you can't walk on and just beat anyone. You have to play, you have to study, we have to watch film. And the message really was just that we didn't play how we should have, and we need to focus.
Varsity, Friday Night Lights, how's it going?
It's going
How
good.
you enjoying it?
I enjoy it. It's a fun experience here at Berkelback. I mean, it's just like with the graphics and seeing yourself on the screen and the whole community coming out and supporting you. It's a special thing, and I enjoyed it a lot.
When could you tell Friday night against the Bobcats, when could you tell that you guys were really clicking on that offensive side of the ball?
I would probably say the second or third drive when we're just getting things going and we're breaking out 40-yard plus runs, and the O-line's clicking, and then that allows Jet to click, and then when we give Caleb protection and he passes it to Xavier or Davin, it just really sets up the big plays, and it gets a good flow going for the offense.
Did you know Jet when he was here in middle school?
Yes, sir. Me and Jet, we've been friends since I was maybe 5 because I used to run the 800 in track with him.
What?
Yes.
At 5?
Do you still run the 800?
No, sir.
Only if you get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, right?
Yeah. His family used to run the track team. It was Georgetown Track and Field, and his whole family and we ran it. I did the 800, the long jump, and javelin with Jet. And,
javelin, I could see. I can't see you long jumping now. that would be fun to see, though. All right, so all the skill positions are the ones everybody's talking about, but it's you guys up front that really make the difference for this offense. How well do you guys just gel, and what's the relationship like between you 5?
I mean, we gel super good. We're all close in the locker rooms. We'll go out every maybe weekend or so. We'll go out to Double Dave's during the off season and strength and conditioning.
Pepperoni rolls.
Yeah, yes sir.
Got some at the concession stand.
May have to stop by the concession stand on the way out.
We'll stay after during strength and condition and really just build that team bonding, because for us, we all 5 of us need to be really close, and it's paid off really well. You know, we all are on the same page, and it just helps out a lot when us 5 are on the same wavelength, just moving together as one.
When you guys are in the locker room, how often does a little competition, a little breakout in there over who can do what in that weight room?
It breaks out a little bit. The weight room, it's always competitive, you know, looking next to you and seeing okay, he's lifting that much, let me throw on some more weight, or it definitely breaks out. I'll throw a shout out to my boy Ryan Mishcott. He's always throwing around a bunch of weight, and definitely pushes everyone around him.
Out of the linemen, who's got the heaviest squat?
I'd probably say Ryan Mishcott.
All right.
Yeah.
How much?
500? Around 500, I think.
All right. If I need my car moved, I know who to call. So, with the way the season has progressed, where do you get better?
Obviously, on tough weeks like this and short weeks, we can get better just mentally focusing and locking in on the plays and stuff. But I think we can get better every week. You know, we watch the film, watch where our mistakes are made, because obviously there's always going to be some, and just progress from that. So week by week, we can get better. You
talked about it a little bit earlier. How do you guys avoid that trap of, man, we can beat these guys? You know, how do you avoid that?
We're just knowing in the back of our heads that it's Texas football. You know, every team has some athletes, and that we just look back at Georgetown football and look at our principles, and we just focus on those, and it helps push us to stay to our principles and allow us to like beat teams and not really focus on the teams, but focus on us more.
I was just going to ask about your history. You're a dual sport athlete up to a certain point.
Yeah, I right now I guess I'm still a dual sport athlete. In the off season I'll throw some discus and shot put.
All right.
But growing up I played all sorts of stuff. I played baseball, obviously track with Jet, basketball, soccer, football. I played everything growing up.
Good.
That's where some of that athleticism comes from.
Yes, sir.
That was where I was headed with that. Is you don't get that big and strong by just playing football.
By accident.
No.
So when you guys go good on good in practice, who's the toughest one to block? Because up front, they're quick.
Yeah. Toughest one to block, I'd probably say either Dylan Turboville or Andrew Urban, who'll be up in a few minutes. They're just so quick and strong, and the explosiveness definitely takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
But I love some good on good.
You grew up in Georgetown, right?
Yes, sir.
What was it like your first night walking out in Birkelback under the Friday night lights? What was that like? Making that trek through the stadium, which I love.
And
Yes,
and what year did you do that?
Year in
high school, sophomore, junior.
For like walkout.
Mm-hmm.
This was my first year on varsity,
Okay.
so this
right.
was my first time this season against Victoria East, and it was just everything as a Georgetown kid you look forward to growing up. You know, I've been here my whole life, watching the games, watching the varsity players. I got to like walk on the side when I played Pop Warner for Georgetown, and so just to be in the helmet and link arms with my brothers, it was a super cool moment.
It's nice to walk out there with a G on your helmet, not just the clear sub-varsity helmet. Not saying there's anything bad about the sub-varsity at all, but just putting that on the first time, great feeling, huh?
Yes, sir. It's just something special.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you're playing football here all the way up through December, God willing. Where do you go after that?
After that, we'll go into some heavy weight room stuff, and we'll go into our off-season training, and obviously some of our other athletes will go into different sports like wrestling and basketball, and then when track comes around, Coach Griffin always likes to encourage everyone to go out and even just practice track, even if you're not going to compete, but always just practice. So a lot of the team will go out and do track during the off-season, which is good for us. So yeah, we'll just go around and do other sports and stay active.
Are you looking at college for football?
Yes, sir.
All right, nice.
Looking anywhere in particular, or just waiting to see?
Honestly, just waiting to see. Still a little bit early, but I'll go anywhere, honestly.
Okay.
Good for you.
So, what do you do in your spare time? What's Caden Shearer's hobbies?
Hobbies, sleep. I gotta get my sleep
Gotta
back.
get that sleep.
Got the morning
It's
practices.
important.
But I'll play video games. I like to go hunting and fishing a lot.
All right, we can hang out.
We got like less than I think 4 weeks till deer season. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm feeding them.
And then I'll just hang out with my friends and just get a group of people together, hang out, swim, and just relax.
Oh, good. Well, Caden, we appreciate it, brother. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
I'd like to shout out, the whole O-line, the whole coaching staff. I'd like to shout out Jack Covan. He's the GOAT. He keeps us hyped on the sideline, and really just everyone here at Georgetown, the community, and everyone.
Well, folks, that's Caden Shearer, offensive lineman for your Georgetown Eagles. Caden, thanks again, brother.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll have Mr. Andrew Urban here with us. Stick with us. More here on the Eagle Nation Coaching Show right after this.
At Mesquite Creek Outfitters, located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Texas, we bring community together in a casual environment to share the love of gear, great drinks, and friendship. Enjoy our light menu, a beverage, and shop our great selection of men's and women's clothing and gear. Also, check out our website for MCO Grocery Company and have fresh groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. Visit the Mesquite Creek site at www.mesquitecreekoutfitters.com or stop in and say hello. MCO is a proud sponsor of this year's Georgetown Eagle football broadcast, brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting.
And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaching Show, brought to you by Camp Brightside. We've also got some other sponsors we've shown you some spots for tonight. Now joining us, Andrew Urban, defensive end for the Georgetown Eagles. Andrew, thanks for joining us, man.
Of course, thank you.
So, big win Friday night. Talk about that win just in general.
Well, I think it meant a lot for us because of that loss to Leander, and, we had an edge, playing with an edge, coming into that game, prepared better. We were confident, looked at our scouting report constantly, watched a lot of film, so I think we were ready for that game.
Coach talked about it a little bit earlier. It's a thinking man's game. How much study goes into your preparation for Friday nights or Thursday nights like this week?
It's a lot. We watch hours on end of film. We watch film in the morning, in the afternoon some days. There's just a lot of film, studying the scouting report, coaching.
Do you study film more than you study your classes?
Maybe sometimes.
It's a lot more interesting than some of the topics, huh?
Yeah.
Out on that defensive end, you get a lot of chance to get in that backfield, disrupt plays. Talk about how that has helped this defense with you guys on the ends, rushing, getting pressure on the quarterback, stopping those run lanes.
Well, our DNs, I think they're doing a great job. They contain when they need to contain. They do a lot of the victory stunts really good, and us on the inside, we do take up double team blocks, free up linebackers, so we make it happen.
As a tackle, sometimes you're facing double teams. Every once in a while, a running back will come in and chip on the way out or something like that. What's the biggest challenge for you in that setting when you do get a double team or you get a guard that pulls and winds up not being the guy that was across your nose?
You just got to make your reads. If you get a pulling guard, you got to contain to the other side, and if that running back tries to get a chip on your shoulder, you got to hold on. Wait for some linebacker assistance or other D linemen.
You like rushing the passer better or stopping the run?
I like stopping the run.
Why?
I just think it's more fun. You get to hit more people. I like coming off of blocks and making tackles.
As a unit, this defense has just really, really attacked the football, and now you're senior this year.
Yes, sir.
How is this team different than the teams that you've been on in the past?
I think each team is really different. I played with a lot of guys. I just feel like this year, I feel like everybody I played with my freshman year is here now, and we're still as tight as we used to be. And we're playing that way too.
And when did you make it to varsity?
My sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this guy for quite a while. So as the season has progressed, you guys just one loss on the season right now. All your goals are still ahead of you. How do you guys help, like the juniors and the sophomores on the team, stay focused and not get too overconfident?
We just kind of coach them up a little bit along with the coaches and make sure they're reading their keys and making plays out there.
You hear a lot of college coaches in their press conferences and such talk about team-led teams. This one really seems like it is a team-led team.
It is.
And it's not just the coaches that are getting on people when they make mistakes or helping them when they make mistakes or cheering them on when they do good. It's the players. Is that different than you've had in the past?
I think it's always pretty much been a player-led team.
How does that affect you guys versus it just being the coaches?
Well, being a senior, I feel like you're expected to lead more than you have ever been, and I think people are picking up the slack and helping our underclassmen out.
Who was your biggest mentor coming up so far?
Michael Valenta.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. No. if you've watched Georgetown football over the past years, that says it all. How did Michael influence you?
He would pull me aside after plays and tell me what I did wrong or how I can improve.
Okay.
That was a talented dude over there to give you some guidance. Yeah. What's been your biggest challenge this year?
Just staying focused, really. It's been busy. Senior year, starting my senior year has been really busy. A lot of classes, homework. But, I just stay focused on football and do my best.
Have you visited any schools yet?
I have not.
College next up for you?
I'm looking at trade school and studying automotive.
Oh, nice.
That's just something I like to do.
Yeah.
I love cars, so.
I got one you can work on because I cannot. I can change the oil and tires and maybe the spark plugs, but that's about it. So where do we find Andrew Urban when he's not on the football field?
Probably here, honestly. I'm here 5 out of 7 days a week. So, and on the weekends I work lawn jobs with my friend Reagan Riney.
Oh, okay.
So, just all over Georgetown really on the weekends.
You're staying busy, huh?
For sure.
Nice.
Any shout-outs before we let you go?
Shout out Ryan Paul. Shout out Fearsome Foursome. That's it.
All right. Folks, that is Andrew Urban, defensive tackle for your Georgetown Eagles. Stick with us. Andrew, thanks a lot for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Stick with us. More on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show right after this. We've got trivia coming up, so hang around for that.
At Mesquite Creek Outfitters, located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Texas, we bring community together in a casual environment to share the love of gear, great drinks, and friendship. Enjoy our light menu, a beverage, and shop our great selection of men's and women's clothing and gear. Also, check out our website for MCO Grocery Company and have fresh groceries delivered directly to your doorstep. Visit the Mesquite Creek site at www.mesquitecreekoutfitters.com or stop in and say hello. MCO is a proud sponsor of this year's Georgetown Eagle football broadcast, brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting.
And we welcome you back, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We got a new producer tonight, so Coach's wife out here helping us a little bit. All right, it is trivia time. Jory is going to hand you guys the microphone. Everybody introduce yourselves.
Seth Warren, linebacker. Chance Kelly, linebacker.
Jaheim Dowd, corner.
Davin Sedgwick, receiver.
Jack Hovan, O-line.
Brent Hargrove, O-line.
All right, gentlemen, Jory is going to hand off the microphone to whoever raises their hand first. And based on the conversations I was hearing earlier, this is going to be difficult. Ultimate Fighting Championship questions tonight, MMA. So are we ready? All right, we are going back in time. So first question is this. What year did the UFC begin?
2002.
Incorrect. You guys going to take a shot? All right, go here.
1988.
No. One more chance. Math is hard.
It's 30 years old. Right? So 94.
No. 1993.
Oh, so close.
So close.
Did they get half a point?
No.
No
They
points.
do not.
All right.
Do y'all know who's winning so far this year? Offense? Defense? Yeah, Wally will know. Season's still going. All right. Question number 2, related to the beginning of UFC. How many weight classes were there originally?
None.
Correct. None. It was a tournament, and 8 fighters would fight the championship each time. The fighters had to fight 3 fights in the same night.
Oh, my gosh.
And UFC actually came about from a bunch
I
of
don't
bar
even think they wore
bouncers.
gloves then.
Yeah. Before it went to mixed martial arts, it was bar bouncers that were fighting each other. All right, so it is 1-0 with 3 questions left. Question number 3, what was Chuck Liddell's nickname? Oh, gosh. See, I told you it was going to be tough. Any of you guys know? What was Chuck Liddell's nickname? He was my favorite UFC.
The Iceman?
Yes. The Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's my favorite all-time UFC fighter, so that's why that question got thrown in. So it is 2-0 with 2 questions left.
All right.
All right.
Come on, offense.
Question number 4. Who was the first UFC women's champion?
Ronda Rousey?
Yes, Ronda Rousey. So the offense
good answer.
making a vicious comeback with 1 question left. I
All
hope
right,
we don't,
one question
I hope
left.
we don't. I hope we don't
I
have
got
to
my
go
eyes on y'all. Let's go. Come on.
Hope we don't have to
Who's
go
first?
to a tiebreaker. All right, last question. This one is in modern times, so you'll be happy for that. Who is the current UFC heavyweight champion? Yes, John Jones.
Good answer.
So we
got a tie.
We are.
Are we going with technicalities?
Yeah.
Nah.
John Jones, he is the man. All right, tiebreaker question. Are you ready for the tiebreaker question? In what facility was the last UFC event held?
The Sphere.
Yeah.
The Sphere in Las Vegas. So the offense, it was so close. But the offense wins trivia tonight. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Offense gets a point. So if Wally's listening, put that on the ticker. All right.
Is there a pizza party for the winning?
I have no idea. We've
At the
talked
end of the
about getting a
season?
trophy or something, but it is what it is. All right, folks, we're going to take another break. And after these messages from Camp Brightside, we're going to bring in Jimmy Warren, president of the Booster Club. Stick with us. More on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show here in just a minute.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Brightside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Brightside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Brightside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Brightside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Brightside and stay a while.
And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, brought to you by Camp Brightside. We are out here at the auxiliary field at GHS, and right now, with 23 seconds left in the game, Georgetown is defeating. Well, the game is over now. Clock is running out. 49-20. Your Georgetown Eagles JV Blue Team take care of Cedar Park tonight. In just a few minutes, JV Silver will kick off. But in the meantime, we are joined by the one, the only. The legend, Jimmy Warren,
I don't know about
president.
Oh,
of
I heard you're legendary
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, maybe today. Yes,
Jimmy's the president of the Football Boosters Club. Jimmy, thanks for joining us, buddy.
appreciate it.
It's good
Appreciate
to see
it, guys.
you.
Yeah, good to be
as
seen.
always. What's going on with the Booster Club?
A lot of volunteers, a lot of help, a lot of good things, man. Supporting the athletes. We're doing a good job.
Yeah. Well, what'd you think of that ball game Friday night?
That was great. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the ball games like that.
I do too, man.
Yeah, I get to sit calmly in the stands. Good.
Yeah.
The ones that are close get called a good football game, but
Yeah. All the ladies are always telling me that, hey, we want a close game. No, we
No.
don't. No, we don't.
no, we do not. We
No,
do not.
We like blowouts. We like everybody getting to play.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about it in the past, but we can't fail to bring it up. The Booster Club is not just for Georgetown High School varsity football. You guys do so much for all of the programs, even down to the middle schools. Talk about some of the things that y'all do.
Yeah, we do a lot of things. We feed a lot of these kids all the time, breakfasts, lunches, dinners, a lot of meals, a lot of all the equipment they have. A lot of that stuff goes to it. Coaches' budget's pretty small when it comes to when it comes from the federal level, and it hadn't changed, I think, in 10, 12 years. So we have to subsidize that,
Yeah.
get a lot of money for all those shortcomings. And that's what we do.
And a lot of work goes into that. I know the Meet the Eagles, I think, is y'all's biggest fundraiser. Big
Right.
success this year with that, with a lot of support for that. If folks want to check out what's going on with the Booster Club, maybe volunteer for to do some things, how can they get involved?
Yeah, just go to georgetownfootball.com and hook up there. You can obviously contact us on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page, Georgetown Football Booster Facebook page. So you can contact us there as well.
A lot of information on the Facebook page. And, Jory, you and I were talking about it, just kind of a side note. Young Jason Pennington struggling right now, involved in a major motor vehicle crash, seriously injured in that.
Yeah, the latest we've heard is he's still in a coma that the doctors put him in after surgery, and they're hoping to get him out this week and see how he's doing. But the family needs their thoughts and prayers, and there is a GoFundMe page. I think it's on the Facebook page.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you can go there and donate what you can, be
Yeah.
greatly appreciated.
That young man fighting a battle, his family fighting a battle, so our thoughts and prayers go with him, and we let folks know on the broadcast as well, too. We'll continue to do that, and but hopes for full recovery for Jason. The Booster Club is not only here to support the athletes at all levels, but it really brings a family-type atmosphere, and talk about that relationship on a personal level.
It does when it comes to tailgates. All the parents, we all get together, whether it be home games, visitor games, going to the tailgates, just supporting each other, being a community, being a family. That's what it's all about, right? It's all about community, and we come together. It's a great time. We have a good time. We do other things, when we off-site cook for the boys or certain occasions, things like that. We all get together. Everybody's welcome. We enjoy it. So.
Well, Jimmy, y'all do a great job, and y'all
appreciate it.
The support y'all throw at us for these broadcasts is greatly appreciated, and so thank you for
appreciate
that. Yeah, we have a good time, and when they asked me 6-7 years ago if I wanted to do this, I was like, wait, sit in an air-conditioned press box and talk football? Okay, I'll do that. So
It's not a bad gig.
yeah, I hadn't gotten fired yet, so
Yeah.
we'll see how long that
Close,
lasts.
There's still
real
tomorrow.
close.
Yeah, there is still tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day, so.
It's another day. You
Yeah.
never know.
Wally's the talent. I'm just the comic relief, and
You're the entertainment.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I am. It's
I don't know.
entertainment.
I don't know how entertaining it is when your play-by-play guy wants to throw you out of the press box sometimes, but it is what it is. So tailgate tomorrow. Where's that at?
That is at Blue Corn Harvest.
Oh, okay.
So Blue Corn
Yeah.
Harvest in, I guess
Cedar
it's Cedar
Park.
Park.
Yeah.
Cedar Park, Blue Corn Harvest. We'll be there at 5 o'clock eating.
Perfect. Perfect. We won't be able to make it, but
Inside, not outside.
we'll be there in spirit.
There you go.
We'll miss you guys.
Yeah.
But we'll see you at the football
There you
game.
go. We'll
And
be
hopefully another Eagle victory. Folks, that's Jimmy Warren. And again, tailgate at 5 o'clock, Blue Corn Harvest in Cedar Park.
Correct.
On 1431.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, on 1431 in Cedar Park. So put your blue on and come out there and enjoy some fun and festivities before the game. And then the game again tomorrow night, Gupton Stadium. If you can't make it to Gupton to support the Eagles in person, tune in on the YouTube SHN Sports YouTube channel. Pre-game will start around 6:15 and then kick off at 7 o'clock. So, Jimmy, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, brother.
Oh, looking forward to it.
And thanks for joining us, as always.
Amen.
All right.
Yep, appreciate you, Jimmy.
Folks, one more break. We'll be back to wrap up the Eagle Nation Coaches Show right after this.
Georgetown, there's a new dining and entertainment spot in town, Camp Brightside. Come and enjoy unbelievable food and drink menu in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Brightside is not just great food and drink, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Brightside is located at 8701 Rural Route 2338, also known as Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Brightside is the site of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food, fun like none other in Georgetown, visit Camp Brightside and stay a while.
We welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, brought to you by Camp Brightside. If you get the chance, go out to Camp Brightside. It is a fantastic facility, kid-friendly, lots of good food, lots of good drinks.
It's busy, especially on the weekends. They're
busy. Yeah, out back, their entire backyard is turf, so even if it rains, there's not a bunch of mud out there. They've got a wiffle ball field, a formal wiffle ball field, and I think the first coaches show out there, Coach Griffin had to have a conversation with some of his players because it sounded like the World Series was going on over there. But they've got that. They've got live entertainment. They got a stage out there. They got cornhole, all kinds of activities.
They've got an Airstream in the backyard now. I don't know what's in that. But
well, they're going to do some food out there too. So
yeah.
And Chef does a great job out there with the food. And just great atmosphere. So if you can, go out to Camp Brightside. Let them know you heard about it here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show or on our broadcast for the games. We thank all of our sponsors. And Cody Hurt is one of the owners of Camp Brightside, and that's why I've shown a couple other commercials tonight. Goldberger, Golden Rule. Not Golden.
Mesquite
Golden
Creek.
Rule is one of them, but Mesquite Creek and then River and Ranch Provisions. Yep. All sponsors of our broadcast, and we could not do this without them. So, folks, if you get the chance, go visit our sponsors. Let them know you appreciate their help in keeping these broadcasts free because a lot of schools don't have free broadcasts. And we will do that as long as people will listen. When they quit listening, we'll quit talking.
Let's see. Is there a number on there? No.
Yeah, no numbers. Jory, final thoughts?
Well, I'm really excited about tomorrow night. I'm excited to see that defense shut down that Cinderella that's going to be behind the line there trying to throw the ball. And keep him at bay. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Should be an exciting ball game. Your Georgetown Eagles will be traveling to Cedar Park to Gupton Stadium to take on the Rouse Raiders tomorrow night. Another district clash, looking for another victory in that march towards a district championship. Folks, that does it for us here tonight at the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Again, we thank our sponsors. We thank you for tuning in. And as always, be safe, be kind. It doesn't cost a dime
to be
kind. And also, side note, keep Jason Pennington and his family in your prayers through all this. That young man's in a battle, and we support him and his family in that battle. So keep Jason in your thoughts and prayers. I know this Eagle team is with the stickers on the helmets, remembering Jason. So we appreciate you joining us. Y'all be safe, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow night, Thursday night.
And remember, Eagle fight never dies.